Good day, beautiful soul family, and welcome back to On Another Level. And so I will be reading more scriptures. What I do is I just wake up, I pray, and I come to this here table. And just as I read oracles and I read tarot, more so oracles, Divine Spirit has been telling me to just read the Word, be a reader of Divine Spirit's Word, and understanding those frequencies and energies. And so it is a delight for me to do so. Understanding the attack on just Divine Spirit's Word itself reminds me of many attacks that are on the Divine Family. Many attacks that may come into your life to prevent you from being on purpose. And so when I think about Divine Spirit's Word, is about the purpose. And so, interesting enough, all I do with my energy, I just open up the Bible and I read. So, interesting enough, it's at Ezekiel chapter 7, and I'm reading it to the end. Okay? The word of the Lord, it says, announcement of the end. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man. This is what the Lord God says to the land of Israel. An end. The end has come on the four corners of the earth. The end is now upon you. I will send my anger against you and judge you according to your ways. I will punish you for all your detestable practices. I will not look on you with pity or spare you, but I will punish you for your ways and for your detestable practices within you. Then you will know that I am the Lord. This is what the Lord God says. Look, one disaster after another is coming. An end has come. The end has come. It has awakened against you. Look, it is coming. Doom has come on you, inhabitants of the land. The time has come. The day is near. There will be panic on the mountains and not celebration. I will pour out my wrath on you very soon. I will exhaust your anger against you and judge you according to your ways. I will punish you for all your detestable practices. I will not look on you with pity or spare you. I will punish you for your ways and for your detestable practices within you. Now notice, this is saying it over and over again. I'm not reading this over, and I'm not reading the one thing over and over again. This is being said from 4 all the way to 9, because that's where I'm at right now. I will not look on you with pity or spare you. I will punish you for your ways and for your detestable practices within you. Then you will know that it is I, the Lord, who strikes here. Who strikes. Here is the day. Here it comes. Doom is on its way. Do not mistake in Divine Spirit as the boy that cried wolf. Because I'm like, why is it being said over and over again? It's like being said 3 times. 2 times is confirmation. 3 times it's definite. Doom is on its way. The world has blossomed. Arrogance has bloomed. Violence has grown into a rod of wickedness. None of them will remain. None of that crowd. None of their wealth. And none of their eminent among them. The time has come. The day has arrived. Let the buyer not rejoice, and the seller not mourn. For wrath is on her whole crowd. The seller will certainly not return to what was sold, as long as he and the buyer remain alive. For the vision concerning her whole crowd will not be revoked, and because of the iniquity of each one, none will preserve his life. They have blown the trumpet and prepared everything, but no one goes to war, for my wrath is on her whole crowd. The sword is on the outside. Plague and famine are on the inside. Forever is in the field will die by the sword, and famine and plague will devour whoever is in the city. The survivors among them will escape and live on the mountains like doves of the valley. All of them will moan, each over his own iniquity. All their hands will become weak, and all their knees will run with urine. Sorry about that, my camera decided to turn off. But what I was talking about is Divine Spirit a couple of days or a few days ago was telling me that, and the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because it's coming up in the Word, is that there is a great hoax that's being taken place, that will be taking place. And it's going to bring about, remember I spoke about temptations, distractions, and great disturbances. And these disturbances will look abrupt. Now, there is something that I want to show you. It's not even something new. But as mentioned, this is a strategy. It's very strategic. And so this is why self-love, self-care, self-nurture is so important. Go within and find out what your intuition is telling you. Building trust. You know, what's so interesting, beautiful soul feminine, and I will get back to this, is that how can you get into a relationship and want to build an honest connection and trust when there is no trust within your own intuition? You see, we are programmed to take the wording of others, you know, and run with it without consulting, right? Without consulting our intuition, without putting trust within ourselves. And the thing about it is, beautiful soul family, is that, you know, there is a law of attraction, but the thing about it is, if you're not putting that work into yourself, it's not even about the next person at this point, at the beginning stages. It's about how much do you trust your intuition. Interesting enough to note, the Divine Spirit is telling me about animals. Animals trust their instinct. Animals have instinct. We have intuition. Imagine an animal that didn't trust its instincts. They don't walk around with clocks on their hands, on their wrists, or phones. No, they are in tune with nature, with the cycles and the seasons of nature. Imagine a bear is waiting for the time, having a watch on his wrist and saying, okay, it's time to hibernate. No, the bear follows his or her instincts. The snake follows its instincts. Animals follow their instincts, especially when there's danger around. And so, you know, animals don't go to school, so animals are not what's coming to mind, conducive. They are not being taught these conditioned learnings. They are not being trained. And actually, to a degree, people try to do it. Scientists try to do it. But for the most part, they are not combat with conditioned learning. So therefore, they follow their instincts. Divine Spirit is telling me that with this great hoax, this great illusion, it's going to rattle a lot of people. It's going to disturb a lot of people. Divine Spirit is telling me even the local karmics who try to come over your will, or major karmics that try to come over humanity. The thing about it is, beautiful soul family, is that and I'm so thankful every day that, you know, a person can be swayed. Our love interest can believe in lies or whatever, and can change their mind and change their heart. But one thing that will not ever be persuaded is divine spirit. It's love. It's karma. These things can't be bought off. These things can't be persuaded. And fear has nothing on them. Matter of fact, fear fears love. Fear fears divine spirit. And fear fears karma. Divine spirit was telling me that they may try to overcome your mind, especially on a grand scale. But divine spirit, when divine spirit acts, divine spirit will overcome their minds individually. Meaning, individually, in their skies. Everywhere they go, everywhere they look up, they will see things that will overcome them. They will have their own view, their own horror show. I'm seeing it. Divine Spirit is showing me a bunch of people who are looking around in fright and in fear. And there will be nothing in the skies. There will be nothing in the heavens. But when they look up, after looking down on so many people, they will have their own show. They will pray for death and not have it. The Bible shows that part. I'm about love. I'm not really about brimstone and all this and that. You know, it's very important to understand it. But I'm about love. Build your relationship with divine spirit and understand the love that is there. But for those who outlandishly, consistently work against people, bullying, stealing information, taking of money, rubbing shoulders and think they are protected, worshiping gods and goddesses that, guess what, they need divine spirit's permission, wishing harm on others, blocking others. Divine Spirit is telling me disenfranchisement, whatever is done behind the scenes, whatever is going on with this major strategic plan, Divine Spirit is telling me you are being duped. The life that you think you're living is just something to keep you tempted. Where is that card? I put it away. It is a card where a lady is holding up she's holding up a mask. She's holding up a mask. Interesting enough, I picked up these cards and it's talking about deceit. It's talking about the heart chakra, deceit, happy family, and a storm warning. Anyways, the card that I'm talking about is a lady, and I have it in the other video that I just uploaded. But it's about a lady holding up a mask, and she's holding up the mask above her head, above her very self. And she's not realizing that even though it only takes one hand, she's so mesmerized by holding up this mask that she doesn't realize that she's being chained. Man or woman. So Divine Spirit is saying you're being duped. And whatever you do to others, especially behind the scenes, Divine Spirit sees it. Others may not see it. Others may not believe it. But divine spirit knows. Okay? Here, from 11 it says, violence has grown into a rod of wickedness. None of them will remain. None of that crowd, none of their wealth, and none of their eminence among them. Don't think that divine beings do not know. If you're going within and you're connected to divine spirit, pretty much you know everything that is going on. And the mere fact that you don't fight back is because you're too busy forgiving. It's because you're too busy healing. It's because you're too busy moving forward and not being tempted, distracted, and disturbed. You are realizing your purpose. Nothing is hidden, especially to the divine. But we also walk by faith and not by sight. So don't think you're getting away with it. Verse 12 says, the time has come, the day has arrived. Let the buyer not rejoice and the seller not mourn, for wrath is on her whole crowd. The seller will certainly not return to what was sold, as long as he and the buyer remain alive. For the vision concerning her whole crowd will not be revoked, and because of the iniquity of each one, none will preserve his life. They have blown the trumpet and prepared everything, but no one goes to war. For the wrath is on her whole crowd. The sword is on the outside. Plague and famine are on the inside. Whoever is in the field will die by the sword, and famine and plague will devour whoever's in the city. The survivors among them will escape and live on the mountains like doves of the valley. All of them will moan, each over his own iniquity. All their hands will become weak, and their knees will run with urine. They will put on sackcloth, and horror will overwhelm them. Shame will cover all their faces, and their heads will be bald. They will throw their silver into the streets, and their gold will seem like something filthy. Their silver and gold will be unable to save them. In the day of the Lord's wrath, they will not satisfy their appetites or fill their stomachs, for these were the stumbling blocks that brought about their iniquity. He appointed his beautiful ornaments for majesty, but they made their detestable images from them, their abhorrent things. Therefore I have made these into something filthy to them. I will hand these things over to foreigners as plunder, and to the wicked of the earth as spoil, and they will profane them. I will turn my face from them as to profane my treasured place. Violent men will enter it and profane it. Forge the chain, for the land is filled with crimes of bloodshed, and the city is filled with violence. So I will bring the most evil of nations to take possession of their houses. I will put an end to the pride of the strong, and their sacred places will be profaned. Anguish is coming. They will look for peace, but there will be none. Disaster after disaster will come, and there will be rumor after rumor. Then they will look for a vision from a prophet, but instructions will perish from the priest, and counsel from their elders, from the elders. The king will mourn. The prince will be clothed in grief, and the hands of the people of the land will tremble. I will deal with them according to their own conduct, and I will judge them by their own standards. Then they will know that I am Lord.